Max, thanks for joining us here at Pitch Size. We'll start, obviously, with the weekend and Tuesday night as well, of course. Back in the team, back amongst the goals. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, obviously I had a couple of weeks out with an injury, which weren't good. But to be back in the team and to be scoring and contributing to the results is really good. Obviously, we've had two good team performances, so I think we can press on that.
The one against Charlton, obviously, sort of the last-minute equaliser in a game that Barnsley probably felt could have come out with the 3 points as well, but that was great for you to obviously return to the team off the bench and a great strike as well.
Yeah, it was a decent strike and it was an important goal to get the draw. I think that everyone in the team agrees that we should have won the game, but that's just the way football goes. But to come off the bench and impact like that is exactly what we need to do.
And then Saturday, away at Shrewsbury, off your left foot as well, sort of a bit of a different goal. You've done more of the work yourself, but again, just as equally as good of a strike.
Yeah, no, we went for it during the week, what we thought we could do to get goals, and that was one of the things we worked on. So it was good for the team to be able to score goals as we was working on in the week.
It's obviously still early on in the season, but you'd started really well, started amongst the goals, as you say, picked up that injury. But it's a massive boost for yourself, I'd imagine, and your confidence to be straight back in the team and straight back scoring.
Yeah, massively. That was my confidence. Obviously, being injured, you'd get a bit down. You're thinking, how can I get back in the team? Can I help the team like I did before I was injured? But to come back and impact like I have is massive to me and my confidence.
Of course, and we want to sort of take a deeper dive into your career, basically. So how did you sort of get into the game? I know it's quite an interesting way and story as to how you sort of made your way into football, really.
Yeah, so I was 16, 17, went straight into non-league, trying to play as many men's games as I could. I was at Ashford, done all right there for a couple of months, and then managed to get a move to Doncaster under Darren Ferguson. COVID come around, struggled to get a club, there still was no money about, and I was training with Maidstone, again non-league, and then managed to get a 1-year contract with Crawley. And that's where it started going well, to be honest. Had a good manager who joined me, done well, managed to get my move started from there.
And I've heard when you were a little bit younger, you were working on a building site at the same time as well or something, so
yeah,
you had a real sort of different kind of way into it.
No, I was working for my dad, obviously, during COVID. There wasn't much football going about. So I just said to my dad, look, I want to earn a bit of money. He owns a removal company, so I was just moving for boxes and furniture up and down the stairs every day. When I was 16, it probably helped me out a little bit, giving me a bit of muscle and stuff. But yeah, just earning a bit of money when there was no football around.
Definitely prefer playing on the pitch, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, it helps me because I look back and think, I don't want to be doing that again. I want to be on the pitch, and it gives me a bit more motivation to stay here.
Exactly, yeah, good motivation to have. And you mentioned there you've obviously had quite a few clubs that you were trying at, Maidstone, for example, Doncaster as well. Do you think that really is like a string to your bow sort of thing, that experience at different sort of places, different environments?
Yeah, I've been at a few clubs, obviously experienced what all the leagues are about. I've been in the 8th tier of football and I've played in the Championship, so it gives me a wide variety of what it was like. And I've been knocked down quite a lot, so I know what it's like to be turned down, and it just gives me more motivation, like I said.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably helped to mould you into the player that you are today, I can imagine.
Yeah, it definitely moulded me into the player I am. I've got a lot of resilience, and when I get knocked down, I just know that I've got to work harder to get back and know where I should be.
And you mentioned Doncaster. Obviously, that's in the local area. Did that influence your decision at all when you were joining Barnsley, just so that you're familiar with that particular area?
Yeah, it's only 45 minutes. Yeah, road. It's Yorkshire, so I know the surrounding areas. And when I heard about Barnsley, it was a no-brainer to come in because obviously I love Yorkshire and the people and the way of life.
And Crawley, where you mentioned where it all went perfect, basically, and you really hit the ground running, scoring plenty of goals. That's where everybody sort of heard the name Max Watters, of course. What sort of clicked for you there? What made it right? What was it down to? Your confidence at the time, for example, or what made it go so well with the manager, the players?
Well, they took a risk on me, really, because they didn't have much money. No one had money at the time. They signed me on a 1-year deal. John Yems, the manager, showed some faith. It was the first game, I think the striker got injured, so they chucked me in one of the cup games, and I managed to score. So I guess it was just right place, right time. But I was there until January, until I got my move. But it was the faith that the manager showed in me. He helped me out, dropped me in, out, because obviously I wasn't pretty fit. So I was just right place, right time, and good help, good manager.
How important is that for a young striker to not only get the backing of the manager? Of course, that's vital, but start really well. You know, a striker's confidence is massive, isn't it? I can imagine that only helped you leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I think as a striker, it's hard to stay in a team if you're not scoring. Once you're there to score goals, but there's always players on the bench that will come and score goals if you're not doing it. And to have a manager that has faith in you and believes in you, it's massive for a player's confidence.
Of course, and off the back of that, really, you sort of got the move to Cardiff for a big fee. How was that? I can imagine quite a lot of pressure, really, on your shoulders to be feeling rewarded for everything you've done.
Yeah, obviously, I did deserve the move, but it was a big step up from League Two to the Championship. It was hard to transition, and when I was at Cardiff, we had a few managers and never managed to really get settled as I wanted to. But I guess that's just football. You can't do well everywhere you go to. But yeah, it was a good learning curve to see what the Championship was like and to see what the big jump was like from the different leagues.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that, to be fair. If you were to put your finger on it, obviously you mentioned different managers. I can imagine, particularly as a striker, again, that's quite difficult in wanting to work in that manager's plans, and then all of a sudden it changes. Why do you think it just didn't quite work out on that time at Cardiff?
Well, obviously I came from League Two to the Championship, and then when you get managers that don't really know who you are, don't really know what your strengths are, and you're not one of their players, therefore when it's tough for them to have faith in you and believe in you. And then when you get different managers every season, you're transitioning into new styles of play, and it's hard just to get settled, especially coming from League Two and people not believing in you. But I'm now at Barnsley, and hopefully I can do well here and prove to everyone that I'm good enough to be a starter in any league.
And that experience in the Championship, I think you touched on it there, but just how important has that been for your career since then? You know, just having that experience, adaptive speed, for example, in League One now, just how important that been?
Yeah, really important. You get to see what a higher level is like, and it is tough in the Championship. It just helps me out because I know what it takes to be in that league and how much work you need to put in physically, mentally, and everything on the pitch.
And then we're here to the Barnsley move in your sort of career story. Talk us through that, how that came about. Obviously a loan move initially.
Yeah, it was an initial loan move for 6 months. I came here in January, and then signed here the next season. Obviously a change of manager again with Neil Collins last season, and now Darryl Clark. Again, Darryl Clark's had some belief in me. He knows what I can do, and I've just got to prove that back to him and show him what I can do.
Of course, and maybe the slightest of tough starts to your Barnsley loan. Remember, maybe a red card here at Oakwell, and that just disrupting what was a really good start. And then, sort of injuries along the way as well. It has been tough for you, but it seems that, as we've said, you're through the other side of that now, and I've mentioned this season, bagging in the goals.
Yeah, it was started with a red card. I managed to score that game as well, so it was a lot of highs and a lot of lows. But we had strikers that season that were banging in the goals again. Last season as well, we had Crawley scoring goals, Macca scoring goals. But hopefully this season I can be the one to score goals and prove to everyone that I'm the top striker.
And I'm not necessarily saying you want to reveal any personal targets, but do you have anything like that, personal and for the team as well? What are you sort of setting out your sights for this season, what you can achieve?
I wouldn't really say I've got personal targets. I'd say more of a team target. I think everyone's got the same ambitions to the industry to do well, and hopefully get as high as in the table as we've done this season.
Well, fingers crossed that's going to be the case, Max. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for coming down and joining us here at Big Side. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Cheers.